Hey, what's up? Richard Bryce here. In this video, I want to show you a two-step process that you can use to become more positive when you play tennis. As you know, sometimes those negative voices inside your head can cause you to miss way too many balls and reduce your enjoyment for the game. So I want to show you two simple things that you can do to become much more positive on court, to both help you enjoy the game more and make you a better player. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, it'd be great if you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, it'd be awesome if you could do that as well. And that way you won't miss out on any of my content. Okay, so the first thing you need to do if you want to become a more positive tennis player on court is to recognize when you're being negative. Some people do, some people don't, but I play against a lot of people and they just start saying terrible things to themselves. Like they'll miss a shot, they'll be playing great and they'll miss one shot and they'll start telling themselves how badly they suck, why their backhand is terrible, why their serve's awful, and they just start a downhill spiral. So step number one, really simple, start to pay attention to what you say to yourself when you're playing, because obviously no one likes people saying mean things to themselves, so why would you say it to yourself? You've got to recognize it. Step two is where we're going to start to reprogram your brain. Now, the way that our brains work, we can only process so much information at one time, and we can only really focus on a couple of things. And if you're saying negative things, that's what you're going to start to program into your body. So what you've got to do is you've got to firstly become aware of it and then boot that stuff out the way, kick that negative comment to the side, and start to say positive things to yourself over and over again. Now, I know this sounds a little bit weird and maybe a little bit voodoo at the start, but there's kind of a neurology and a physiology to this. If you think about something over and over again, it literally strengthens the pathways, the connections, neurons move closer together, the synapses, the communication between brain cells, they get stronger and more efficient, and you get more and more negative. So you can do the same thing with positivity. It's going to feel weird at first. It might feel a little bit false, but if you keep on working on it, you'll do the opposite of what we just talked about. You'll wire the positive pathways and it'll become easier and easier to be more and more positive on court. So there are lots of different things that you could potentially say to yourself, but very simple ones would be to say after every point to start saying, I'm a positive tennis player. I'm a positive tennis player, I'm a positive tennis player, just over and over again. Or you can add things to it. I'm a positive tennis player, I watch the ball onto the strings on every shot. I'm a positive tennis player, I watch the ball onto the strings on every shot. Or I'm always aggressive with my feet, I stay positive on every point, and I watch the ball onto the strings. You can come up with something that works for you. I know when I first started doing this, because I had a lot of problems with being negative when I was younger, when I first started doing it, I kind of set two lofty goals. I'm like, I have got an amazing first serve that I never miss, and it didn't quite resonate with me, because I knew in my heart of hearts that I did miss my first serve sometimes, and even the best players in the world miss their first serve. So it was a statement that didn't work for me. Whereas talking about things that I can really control, because you can control positivity, you can control whether you move your feet, you can control whether you watch the ball onto the strings. So saying that sort of thing to myself, I found to be much more beneficial. So that's what I would recommend to you. Become aware of what you're doing and then start to say these positive things. Now, if you would like to learn more about this sort of stuff, I've created a free masterclass where I dive in deep to the mental toughness, talk about some of this stuff, talk about the focus, the concentration, and that side of things. But I've created another resource for you that you might be interested in. Like I said, I used to be very, very negative on court, and there can actually be underlying things going on within the body that can increase your negativity and make it much harder for you to be more positive on court. So there was a couple of things, and one thing in particular I found that I did with my training, that basically in the space of a week it ended pretty much a lifetime of anxiety on court and negative self-talk. So I've created a video to show you what that was, and I'll place the link down below. So it's basically the application of the things that I explain how to do in the masterclass. So I hope you take advantage of it. I think you'll find it really interesting. I'll leave that down below. Also, let me know what you thought about this video. If you try this technique and you work on it, because you are going to have to work on it, come back, leave me your comments, let me know how you get on. I enjoy hearing that sort of thing. Okay, I'll see you next time.